Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube page, and hit the bell. Text Larry Reid Live to 33222. That's the words Larry Reid Live, no spaces, to 33222, and get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon today by logging on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Download the Patreon app and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
Introducing Larry D. Reid. All right, welcome to Larry Reid Live. I am the host of Larry Reid Live. My name is Larry D. Reid, and on today we have a very special guest, and for me, this is an extremely special show. I want you to let Naughty Dotty everybody know that Larry Reid Live is on. And we literally have a living legend that is going to be with us remotely. So I want you to tell all of your loved ones, especially those that are a part of the church, anybody that has been remotely connected to the church over the past 20 or 30 years, you know this name, you know this man. And I have the extreme high privilege of being able to have a conversation with him today and just get to know the man a little bit better. Now, let me set the stage for you concerning who he is. But before we do, let's do some home cleaning. I want to say thank you to all of you guys that are LRL watchers. Without you, this show would not be what it is. Millions of views this platform has had on YouTube. Almost 22 million views on YouTube since we got started here just a few years ago. And on Facebook, our videos have been viewed almost 200 million times. And that is because of each and every one of you. So I want to say to you guys, thank you so very much. As a result, what we have going on here, it literally shapes the way people think, believe, and behave. That's right, our foolishness. We entertain, laugh, and cook up here. And then here and there, we have serious interviews and get to know those that we all love that are part of our faith-based community and secularly. And what I'm going to ask for you to do that are viewing and watching this platform to hit like and to hit share. Let me tell you why, because I don't think you guys understand this. In the first few minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes that we are on, you decide how many people that love this platform are going to see it. How much you engage in the chat, how much you hit like, how much you hit share in just the first few minutes of me going live determines how we are going to reach those that have liked the page on Facebook, followed the page on Facebook, and have hit subscribe or like on YouTube. So I need all of you that are coming in. And when you see them numbers start going up, I need all of you guys in the comment section say, everybody hit like, please hit like, especially when you see thousands in the chat and only like 200 likes. That's when you start asking people to hit like and to share. Do that for us, and it will help this platform. And those of you that are patrons, I want to give a very special thank you to you guys. These are people that every month, pennies, they send 40 cents a day every single month to support us. And in return, we do some exclusive, empowering, educational, and entertaining things for them all week long. And if you will take a moment and sign up, go to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up for the month. If you do that and start scrolling through there, the things that have been posted since May of 2019, you're going to get educated and empowered, especially the last 2 months concerning the stock market and what is happening and how you should move. And maybe what should you do with your investments? Or maybe you can make some money off of one of your retirement accounts, some money you got stashed. We can help you because we have experts in medicine, in money, stock market, relationship, the mind, the body. They're all over there in Patreon, and they come and talk to us and give us their books and connections. And some of us now have concierge doctors. We feel like rich people because we can text our doctor and find out what in the whole hell in the heaven needs to be done. This stuff going on. I got a cough right now sent from hell. I don't know where this cough come from. And I can't get clear of it. What my grandma say? I can't get clear. That's clear. I can't get clear of it. I needed to go from whence it came. But it's still here. And I'm sipping on ginger tea. You know, ginger, you put it in, when you swallow it, it go through your throat and through your ears, and there be a little tangle. But it keep me from coughing where I'm able to at least get the words out that I need to be getting out. So take a moment and everybody hit like and hit share and let your mama, your daddy, your sister, all them know that Larry Live is on, and we're going to be talking to a legend. So thank you, patrons. If you're watching on tonight and you want to become a patron, patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. And if at any point tonight you say, this is so good, I get to speak to Dr. Bobby Jones gospel. Oh my God, it's no wonderful. I ain't seen them in so long. Then what you should do is support this platform so that we can continue to do what we do here. Because y'all know good and well, I'm not going to have this legend up here on tonight and we not show him some kind of love. So you can help me do that. You go to Cash App, $MBN Network. Venmo @MBN Network. This is the only place. I'm one of the only YouTubers, maybe the only, where whatever you donate here can be tax deductible because we are a nonprofit. That's right. Or you can text the word give to 404-800-4530. That is 404-800-4530. Text the word give. And something will begin to happen supernatural. They'll text you back and say, girl, how much you want to give? Go ahead and give them $10,000 over there at the MBN Network to get the tax write-off. We're able to take it right through there. Go to LarryReidLive.com, the website, click donate. That's the PayPal option where you're able to donate. And many of you that watch me, those of you in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and a few of you in your 90s, man, I lost this week an LRLer to cancer. She found out something just normal that she went to check for, and when she found out she was in stage 4, and then she died in like 3 weeks. And she was a consistent LRLer. She watched all the time. Her daughter is what told her about the show. She got addicted, always watched, and the whole time she was in her sickness, from what I understand, she was watching LRL to laugh and have a good time until she closed her eyes forever. The only downside of doing this type of job, I get to connect with a whole lot of different people. So when you have a loss in your family, I absolutely feel the loss. And it's almost like the older I get, the more I feel lost. And so praying for all the families who have lost someone recently. That is not easy. A whole lot of the older LRLers, they like to email me and send me stuff. You can do that. 780 Morosgo Drive, suite number 244-224, 780 Morosgo Drive, 244-224. You will be able to send me something. Atlanta, Georgia, 30324. I'll read it. I'll look at it. And thank you so much for doing it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to have the converDERNsation. Absolutely. I don't know what to say about this man. This is a very special man. And I know a lot of you guys, I have had some of the most popular people whose names been around the world whenever I come on live, but you guys don't really appreciate the opportunity that I bring here for you to get to know these people better. But I know the industry does because they tend to take these interviews and send them around the world. Um, I know I've sort of raised and conditioned you guys for me to sit here and talk about what's going on, and you just love it and enjoy it. But tonight is special to me because the man that is with us on tonight is someone who has impacted my life extremely. And he doesn't know it, but at some point in time in our conversation that will feel like an interview to you, I'm going to let him know and let him know how tonight is a full circle moment. So call grandma and them, your aunties, and tell them, send the link, let them know that we are on right now because they're going to want to know how Bobby doing. Girl, how Bobby Jones doing? I ain't seen him in so long. How Bobby? Y'all notice what they're gonna be saying? Hi, Bobby. Lord, I forgot to send the text out. Did I send the text out? Lord, I didn't, did I? Let me look. You got a text? Okay, so I didn't. Okay. Hi, Bobby. Well, they're about to find out how Dr. Bobby Jones is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 1,375 of you watching us between YouTube and Facebook right now. Only 185 of you have hit like and share. I need all of you right now to tear that share and like button up so that everybody on YouTube and Facebook can see us right now. All right? Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you and present to others none other than Dr. Bobby Jones. Oh my God! Dr. Bobby Jones.
Yes, sir.
Man, just to hear, I tried my best. When I called you and we were setting up the interview and stuff, I did my best to make sure I don't fan out. But just to hear your voice, man, that's magical. And it just make you feel warm inside. I don't know if you know this, but you sort of raised us.
Well, Larry Reid, you are something else, man. Your introduction is so heartfelt. I really appreciate it. And
Yeah,
congratulations. Congratulations. I love to see young black men do great things. And
yeah.
I've heard so much about you from a lot of the people that watch you and love you. And
Mhm.
it's my time to say thank you,
Mm.
for making a contribution that's necessary for all of us.
Yeah. One of the things that I learned from you is the importance of making a positive impact. Um, and I've tried to do it a whole lot of different ways. And I can't say I always got it right. Sometimes I made an impact, and I can't say that it was always all positive.
Mhm.
But you were an inspiration. I saw black preachers, but I never saw a black man in such a position of power gracefully. You won't mean. You were professional, you were powerful, purposeful, and you did it with ease and a smile and a giggle.
There's that giggle.
So tell us, where did you come from? What is your background? What state you come from?
The state of Tennessee, from a little
Wow.
town in the western part of the state of Tennessee. The name of it was Henry, Henry.
Mhm.
And the county seat was Paris, Tennessee. Yeah.
Paris, Tennessee. And so, how did you get into the church world, gospel music, the entertainment industry? Take us on that journey.
Well, I tell you what, it was a gradual entry into the gospel music area. I was raised in a Methodist church in this little town. We had two churches. One was Presbyterian, and the other one was Methodist. And therefore, we never used the kinds of music that you have in your major cities, and we didn't know anything about gospel music. We had to use the hymnal. So,
Hmm.
For those few years that I was in Henry in Paris, I left Henry when I was 11, and I left Paris when I was 15, and
Hmm.
went to college and graduated from Tennessee State University when I was 19 years old. So the experience I received getting involved with gospel music came when I went to Nashville, Tennessee, and I went to a church, a Baptist church, my first time. And I heard the choir. I couldn't believe what I saw. I saw people in robes. We didn't have robes where I was at that time. Remember now, this is so many years back, way before you were thought of even. And and they were marching in, and they were singing and moving, and people in the audience was waving their hands and all. And at that time in the Methodist Church, we were too busy trying to be like the major culture that it
Hmm.
was exciting to me, both
Hmm.
spiritually and culturally. So that's how I was introduced basically to gospel music. And I really appreciated it so from those two aspects. The first, as I
Hmm.
said, was culturally because it's a major part of our culture. It
Hmm.
started in this that we know of started in the early 1990s with Professor Thomas A. Dorsey. And then spiritually, it had to do that as well because that was the leading spirit within me was my spirituality. So I had
Hmm.
to make those combinations, and God just took it everywhere that He wanted it to go with me, and I'm grateful.
So the fascination that you had with gospel music and the gospel music culture is what drew you in more and more.
Yes, it did.
Okay. So when did you get the desire to, okay, I want everybody to have the transcendent experience, the great experience that the culture of the music and the move of the spirit gives you, and I want to market it and make it big. When did that come in? How old were you?
Well, actually, when I really got into gospel music was when I finished Tennessee State University. I stayed in the house with my aunt and uncle when I first came to Nashville. And as I said, I was 15 years old, too young to be in college, but I passed along my grades pretty good. And so when I got the
Wait a minute,
experience,
wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on, Dr. Bob Jones.
well,
So you was like really, really smart, and so you were able to go to college.
yes,
So you started college at what age?
15.
Whoa. Hold
Yeah.
on. So a smart black man.
Well, thank you, but yeah, that's what I was able to do. I didn't call myself smart, I just, did what I did, and got where I needed to be, and by God's help. And so when I heard the music and heard all of that singing and listening to how the pastors were much different than they were in the churches where I went to when I was in Paris and Henry, because the people would holler back at the pastor, and I told Mama they hollering back at the man. He'd say, God is good. Yeah. That was the most amusing situation for me. But they could sing. Man,
Mhm.
those women, those black women, and that guttural sound that would come from them, and then they would praise God with their hands by lifting and shouting, and all of that was incumbent in the experience that I received. So I started to teach myself how to play the piano.
Hmm.
I had never done it before, and I did. And they had an announcement on the radio that they were looking for someone to play for their Sunday school. It was called First Street Baptist Church. So I got on my aunt's piano, and she could play by ear. And so I began to pick out some tunes and whatever. And I went down to that church, not too far from where we were, and they
Mhm.
hired me. And all I could
Mhm.
play was two or three songs, Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross or something, three favorites. And they accepted it. I went back and told my, I said, they've accepted me to be the piano player for the Sunday school. So that's how I got to stay in church, because after Sunday school, then came the church service, right? And so I
Mhm.
would hang out so I could see what they were doing. And that's how I got really, really introduced into that area of gospel music. And then it was so good, I started to put the choirs together in the church. And
Hmm.
before you knew it, that's why I said it had to be the will of God. Before you knew it, we had one of the largest and best choirs in Nashville. And all of that came from just that kind of involvement in these early stages of my Christian experience in a Black gospel Baptist church. Then
So what was
I joined the group called the Royal Gospel Singers, all guys.
right
And they heard me when I was singing with the choir there, because I'd never I'm never known as a singer, but I was able to sing, but I wasn't known as a singer. So they asked me to join their group, and I did. And it went wonderfully well. And we went to different churches, and that's how I got really involved in the spirit of gospel music. Now, after I finished college and went to teach in St. Louis when I was 19 years old, that's when I started.
to
And
teach?
to teach, yes, yes,
Okay,
I taught at Beaumont High School in St. Louis, Missouri, when I was
okay.
19 years old. Okay. So I continued my relationship with the Baptist church. And I joined one because I liked it. So I a Methodist, we were sprinkled. They just take a little water and drop it on your head. That was yeah, that's how you were covered.
Hmm.
I'm not making light of that, because we accepted that as the way you do it.
Right,
But the Baptist church took me under the water, you know.
right. Exactly. You gonna get baptized all the way, wet from head to toe.
Yeah, I did, man. I did. And so when I came back to Nashville after I worked there for 7 years, I came back to teach in Nashville because St. Louis was too big for me. I couldn't get used to the culture there and everything. So I started teaching in Nashville, and I worked my way up through teaching at the university. I started in elementary and high school, and then into the university, Tennessee State University. The professors there knew of my involvement, and they asked me, Bobby Jones, why you fool with that kind of music? I mean, that's not what we do. It's not that you tell the people there ruin their voices if they holler like that. And I thought that was interesting. So I just looked at them and said, well, I like it. And so little did I ever know that by my being involved with it, I started a project called Black Expo in Nashville. And that's where
Mhm.
we had competition and all. It's some way or the other, Larry. It just keep happening to me, my brother, in a way that couldn't been anything but God will.
Yeah.
Because then from then on, I began to say, well, maybe we can do something to teach these people who are at the college level and think it's so people for who are not where they think they should be. And I did.
Mhm.
And I auditioned for a show in Nashville. It was called the Nashville Gospel Show. That was my first experience. They
What
took us
year?
to, I think that was 1976.
Whoa, I wasn't born till '78.
You see? And I was starting a television show in 1976 in Nashville, Tennessee, gospel, and it became the number one Sunday gospel show in the city because I always like people who the people considered not interesting and were downtrodden and didn't have as much as others. My heart always went out to the people like that, and that's what took me through college. Actually, it was
Mm.
the women in the Black Baptist Church that took care of me when I was 15 till I was 19. And so,
This is amazing to me. Those of you that are coming in, there are 1,883 of you watching us between YouTube and Facebook. We need all of you guys to hit like and share so that all of our audience can hear this powerful converDERNsation. I have been shook. I've gotten chills 3 times. I don't know if you have or not, but I'm a black man that got it out of the mud. And what I'm hearing from Dr. Bobby Jones, and he's saying it so gracefully and humbly, but Dr. Bobby Jones is that man. I mean, teaching at 19, coming up through the university, been so smart, he's in college at 15 years old, and doing this as a black man when blackness back then would be destroyed, killed, and put to the side. Here he
yep,
is smart,
yep.
going through all of this and then opening up all of these doors for all these people. And that same thread that we love from Dr. Bobby Jones, he would give people platform who people did not know. And we see through his story, this has always been his pattern and who he is. This is a powerful story.
Well, let me tell you a little bit more that might be interesting. When I was growing up in that town, I told you about Henry. We
Mm-hmm.
lived on a farm. We had a farm. And that's where, picking cotton, raising
Mm,
animals, pigs, chickens, and all of that. That was what I did. That's what my family did in order to make a living. So my background was really my father, unfortunately, was not educated. He couldn't read nor write. Basically, he could write his name, and other than that, that was the limit to him. My mother finished elementary school, the eighth grade, and the two of them, that's all they did. Unfortunately, my father became an alcoholic and was not very kind to us. So
mm,
that's how I left Henry and went to the place called Paris with my mother when I was 11 years old. Again, that's the work of God. Who would have done that? My mother and my sister and I went there. So we had nothing. I didn't
mm,
have any money to go to college. Didn't have we didn't even have scholarships in my high school called Central High. Didn't know what that was all about. And so my uncle loaned me $50 so I could register. It was $120 a year. We had three quarters a year. We didn't have semesters then at Tennessee
mm,
State University. Okay. So I had to work my way through college, and that's why I learned how to play the piano to play it for the church. And
mm,
that's how those people became involved in what I did. And later on, after I came back to Nashville, I did so well in the elementary schools and high schools there that a company called McGraw-Hill Publishing, big publishing company out of New York, saw me working in one of those schools and asked if I would come to be uh, to be one that had to work with children who had inadequacies in reading and that. It was called
mm.
McGraw Hill, MCGRAW, one of the biggest publishers in the country. So I said, yes, I'll come and work for you. And I did that. I was a reading consultant for 4 years, traveled around the world for them, which was another experience for me. Travel is a great way to learn things. If you
Yes,
get
sir. I
and
always feel like that in order for you to really be a spiritual person, education is going to be important, and
mhm,
also having the experience of different cultures and people and traveling opens up your mind. And I believe meeting different types and kinds of people causes you to understand God,
yeah,
him
yes,
as a spirit and Lord and Father, and also God as a concept when you start meeting new and different types and kind of people. That's what I
yeah.
think.
How old were you when you went to college?
I was 17. You were
17.
2 years smarter than me.
I was blessed. So,
I think I just finished my. I had a doctorate in theology, but I wanted the rigor of really getting into the writing the dissertation and having to
oh,
argue.
okay,
I just finished my D-Min. I mean, just finished. I just got the approval, so I'm waiting to get all of my 10 books and then bind it and all of that to see what to really look at it. I got right now the rough copy, but I don't have the last one. So I just finished
okay.
that.
So
Yeah.
you're working on your dissertation now?
No, it's done. I'm just waiting to get it all back. It's done.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yes,
What'd you
sir.
write about? What'd you write
It's
about?
a long sentence. It is para cyber church organization development and advancement. Because what I did, Dr. Barbara Jones, I pastored traditionally for 20 years, but and that means in the four walls of the church. But in 2015, I received a revelation that the future of the church would be digital and online. So what I did in 2015, I began to do teaching, preaching, prophesying, and everything online. I shut down the four walls of my brick and mortar, never turned back to it, and done everything online. So I was like 5 years ahead of everybody. And
Uh-huh.
so there are people now who having to learn how to do it because of the pandemic. And so my dissertation, actually, when that finishes, we're actually extracting a book out of it where pastors can take it and have a successful online ministry with millions of views and people everywhere like I have. So that's
Oh
what it's about.
man,
Yeah.
congratulations. Well,
Yeah.
through all of those experiences, what I learned, I think, the most of what I was able to do with my life was to honor people regardless of their position in life. The
Mm,
poor people, I started this project called Project Help, where I could help people in Nashville to get food if they didn't have it, and I got people to work with me, and so it just entrenched with love. And God gave me that skill, and I'm very very proud that He did. And I think we should see more love today than we do have. But instead of the negative side of it, I took the positive side and try to stay that way. And that's what I
Ye-
try to tell the young people that are coming up today.
Yes, and that was always very powerful to see how you would that heart, your heart for people was very clear in everything that you did, and
You know,
especially your
when I bring some of the people on the show when I first started, they were
uh
not known as real gospel singers, and people, why
yeah.
would you have those people on the show? They can't sing. And so they would ridicule me for that. Actually,
Mm,
even when I went national, they did the same thing. If you noticed me when the very beginning of my show, when I started on BET in 1980, I started Black Entertainment Television with Bob Johnson. And he tells
mm,
the world about it. Yeah, that's where the start was. He said if it wasn't for Bobby Jones, there wouldn't have been a BET. And I
yeah,
started with gospel music. That shows you what God can do. So,
yeah.
but when I started doing that and brought those kinds of people on, knowing where I was singing as well, if I couldn't sing it, I'd get somebody who could, you know. And I tell them that was kind of like the secret to what God did for me when I dedicated my life to Him to do what He wanted for me. It was already
Mm,
there. He already told me what He needed me to do, and that's what I did and stayed
wow.
there. Yeah. Out of
The best.
35 years with Black Entertainment Television, the longest running show ever on cable television, longest running, and
Whoa.
never missed one show out of 35 years. And I'm still doing it.
Well, see, we got to get into that because I didn't know you were still doing it and that you actually had moved to another
You didn't know
station.
that? You didn't
In
know that
my
I was on the Impact Network?
Bishop Doctor, when your show came off of BET, in my
uh,
opinion, there was no more BET. So I'm telling you what the truth is. So and I would say, okay, he's just off TV, but that wasn't until I did some research. I said, oh, he's actually on another network. But I want to talk about how your fascination with gospel music and the culture, and also powerful, strong singing Black women, how it really shaped our ear and our desire for music and how music should sound as your show aired. I don't know if you knew this, and when I'm asking you, did you know that you were putting Beverly Crawford on the map? Did you know that you were putting all of these different, powerful, strong Black women on the map and their gift? Did you see it like that, or you just doing what you felt like you were supposed to be doing?
I was doing what I felt like I should be doing. When I saw Beverly Crawford, I said, yes, I want her. Just like that. And she said, yes, I will come with you. When I saw Nuwana Dunlap, little short lady, playing an organ and all those instruments out of Michigan,
That's the
I
light
told,
skinned lady that wore hair covering.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Nuwana. Yeah. I brought Nuwana. She was so unique. I said, I
Yeah,
want
she
to put
is.
these two together. Then I had another full-figured girl named Emily, and she was in
Yeah.
full-figured. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
makeup. She wore makeup and stuff, and the people, the full-figured women loved her. Emily
Yeah.
was their role model for them. So when I put those together, because I was learning myself, and as I tell the other kids, I said, you need to study what you're doing. Just because you
Mhm.
can sing does not make you what you think you might could be. But
Yeah.
study to show yourself approved.
Yeah.
Get some knowledge. Go where people are who do what you like to do. Understand it. That's very
Yeah.
important. So,
You also introduce a generation to music history when you begin to introduce groups like the Caravans.
yeah,
When you begin to bring Shirley Caesar on, and
yeah.
I think you are responsible for making Shirley Caesar cross over from one generation to another generation because you kept
Mhm.
bringing her on, and it kept
Yeah.
causing us to refer back to her, as the queen, of gospel. Do you really sit with that impact 35 years of being responsible for orchestrating the musical infrastructure of many black church believers.
Well, as we were doing these, and I talked to the people who are still with me, most of them are, that we didn't know that we were setting that kind of platform for folk. We were so too busy trying to raise money and get enough done so we could get this gospel out there. There were no other shows that would come on that were gospel, and I couldn't understand that. Because I just knew after maybe 5 or 6 years, after people like Walter Hawkins and Edwin and Andre, those are the ones I really admired in gospel music and all. I just knew they were going to come. I said, "Oh, I know they're going to come, and then you're going to have another gospel show, and then we'll have more than one." And that never happened. Only one came out of think of the city now. He played the harp, and TV1
Oh,
kind of
TV
sponsored him.
One. That what's the name's ex boyfriend?
Yeah,
What's the name?
yeah.
What? Our Father, and that song. Hallowed be thy name. That's the only way he was able to stay on them Radio One gospel radio. So he was dating the owner. What's his name? Jeff
Uh,
Majors. Ain't
Jeff
had no
Majors,
business
that's
being all
exactly who it
over the
was.
radio.
Jeff Majors, yeah. And then there was a guy
He
out of
won't
Chicago.
bad, but he ain't had no business being all over the radio. But we found out that was the
Yeah, he
boyfriend.
ran. And there was one more out of Chicago that did. I think he still may be doing something. I'm not sure. But
He,
and then out
okay.
of New York, there were some shows, some gospel shows years ago.
Okay.
But they weren't as well, pronounced as BET was. So that
B-
that that,
b-
that made a
uh,
difference. But let
b-
me tell you who the
okay.
one who is now one of the most popular gospel presenters in this country, and he
Okay.
gives it all to BET as the beginning of his career. Kirk Franklin.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm amazed by him. He
He
is
is
it's
absolutely
yeah,
good.
yeah. And
But
Yolanda, but
wait,
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 what?
wait. And
What?
I love Kurt Franklin. I
Yeah.
love Yolanda. I, if, and listen, they know I love them.
Okay.
But
What's the but?
there is and shall never be another Dr. Bobby Jones.
Oh,
And let's look at it. Let's just look at it. Let me do this because you're
mystery.
so
Okay.
humble. Yeah, because if you look at it, Yolanda Adams had a show to come out on radio. First of all, she has had the best radio show I think that has ever been on Radio One. Period. I love Rhythm Moore Jr. I love what's the other light skinned lady, Darlene McCoy. I love everybody, Jacqueline Carter. I love all of those people. True.
Uh-huh.
Erica Campbell. I absolutely. She's married, but I lust after her. I love it. But
Erica Campbell, don't lose the point. Just let me make a point right here. Erica and her sister were both my background singers when I did the show in Florida, and their mother and two other sisters. That's my background singers.
yeah,
My,
the Atkins girls.
yeah.
Yeah, but Yolanda Adams had been one of the best radio shows. Love her, came and gone. Kurt
Okay.
Franklin has done every gospel show and still does and presides over it well in his very, 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 very nice outfits that he get from the children place and from all of the other stores you can get little toddler clothes from. So but he look real nice in this real tight little tiny clothes. I seen him just the other day and he said he said, "What you got on? Do they have it in my size?" I said, "No, you have to go to the children's section in order for you to go for you to put
Don't
up."
do this to me. Don't do this to me.
Look, he was laughing. He was laughing.
Oh,
It was all he was laughing. It was
oh,
just jokey.
oh,
But
that's good.
Dr.
That's
Bobby
good.
Jones,
Right.
35. Who 35? I
Yeah.
35.
Yeah.
And we did not stop watching. When you went off the air, it was a problem.
And by the way, I must tell you, I retired. BET did not take the show off the air. I
Oh,
started 2 years prior. Went to the president and said, "I'm planning my exit strategy." Listen to those two words, my exit strategy. Because I saw the way some of those people on BET kept, they stay for a little while and before you know it, they were gone. Just like that. So I went to the, I said, 2 more years, I'm gonna leave.
And that was really smart because and I think that particular studio, because let me tell you a story, Dr. Bobbitt. I
It's
think it's a
gone. It's
great,
gone. It's gone.
yeah, it's gone now.
Mhm.
I think this is the, because you were really prophetic and you moved in wisdom.
Exactly.
But I want to say this. I haven't told you this story, but let me tell you this story.
Okay.
So here I am in the backwoods of North Carolina, getting raised in a Baptist church, but they really moved like holiness. But there was no earrings, no makeup. We sang, we loved music, but I always felt like there was another level that the music could go to and that the presentation could go to. And then one day, my TV fell on Dr. Bobby Jones, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. But my whole family said all y'all were going to hell. The women with the earrings, the makeup. You had rhinestones on your shirt and you were talking so proper. It was like,
No, no, no.
those that my family said all of that was the devil. So what happened was, because I got saved, and so
Okay.
for almost 10 years, 9 to 10 years, the only thing I will watch on TV, I fasted from TV, but I will record Dr. Bobby Jones and will only watch your show for 10 years as I was consecrating. I
Okay.
know you had no way of knowing this, and you ain't finished. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
So my family will talk about, why you always watching that show, da da da. I was magically drawn to your, supernatural is a better word for us church people, drawn to the show, and I knew I had some kind of connection with you and your show. So fast
Wow.
forward, 17, I start preaching. 19, well, 18, 19, I started pastoring as associate pastor. I pastored in the church 20 years. I get called right before
Mm.
the 20 years end up. I start doing gospel music, recording music, like the rest of my family does. And I'm
Mhm.
on the road 2013, 14, 15. And as I'm on the road, I'm in Virginia. Sheila Bell has a concert. She asked me to come sing, me and my group.
Mhm.
And I come, we perform a churchy song. You were over there in the corner with Sheila. Hey man, hey man. And we met them, took pictures. We was totally fanning out, me and all of the background singers. Then something happened to where we got booked for a show in Jamaica. And at this show in Jamaica was us, Kiki Sheard, Byron Cage, and that's it. We were the headliners. And we went to Montego Bay. And of course, they're the great artists. But they put us right before Byron Cage. So Kiki went first. And they put us before Byron Cage. He was the main act because he needed to use my background singers. And
Wow.
so we went on stage and lit the stage up. And you and your producer, where I know your producer, Coleman, was like, Dr. Bobby Jones said, y'all got to come on his show. I said, this is his last season, said the 35th. I said, are you for real? Can y'all believe this? I mean, it really happened. I'm telling you guys, I know you don't believe me that it happened. It did. And here I am, a new artist, not signed to anybody, doing everything on my own. That year, I had a single that stayed at the top of the chart with number 14 for 22 weeks. And so it made my song in 2015 one of the top 35 songs in gospel radio for that year. And that year, we were invited. And when we got there to the studio, and I had on my outfit, I'm walking off the stage. You said, wait a minute, Dr. Larry Reid, let me see them shoes.
Did
And I
I
had a,
do that, Larry?
and you said, oh, that is nice, nice, nice. And you did not know that one of the reasons I was drawn to that TV for almost 10 years, because I knew I belonged there. And that was the beginning of my, it actually heightened my desire for entertainment, for radio, for talk, going there and performing on your last 35th. So having you here tonight
Oh,
on my
man.
show, it's like, what, this is crazy.
Well, I
You
tell
have
you what,
You've
you
impacted so many of us.
you just don't know how that makes me feel. That what we do and have done inspires other people. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I
Yeah.
wanted to do. I
And you
never
have done
was
that.
a selfish person, and we put together a group of people to come to Las Vegas every year. Vicky Winans, Yolanda Adams, and I. We put it together, and so they did. They came. The artists came, and that's where we emphasize to gospel artists: don't try to outdo each other. When you
Mm,
sing gospel music, it's really not for each other to be competitive. You're singing to the Lord. You're giving him praise. And other people will get blessed because you might do what you do. So we
mm,
had to go through that because there was a time when I first saw some of the gospel singers, they would try to, oh, put me on last. I'm the headliner and all of that kind of stuff.
mm.
That doesn't belong in what it is that we do. And we have
Did
to know how to.
anybody ever try to bribe you to put them on?
Well, not with money, but with just asking. I'll say yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
quartet, two quartet groups did, and
Yeah.
I won't tell that because it's not
Right.
important.
Right.
But we went through it okay. Yeah, but anyway, that's what we were trying to do when we had what we call our explosions, was to help us to
Yeah.
know, to look how to
I
look
remember that.
decent. You know, don't wear this. Don't do certain things that represent who we are and what we should be when we are serving the Lord.
Do you see yourself as a fashion influencer when it comes to how men dress on the red carpet or for church events?
Well, the thing that just gets on me is when I was wearing those flashy jackets, those Negroes was talking about, what is that he got on? I said, and now when I go in a kind of place, all these men has all these flowery jackets and all these other things. And I said, look at this, look at this. Now, now you see, I guess you must have understood that made
Uh,
some impression on somebody. So no, I didn't do that a store. And Vicky Winans introduced me to a guy in New York City that
mhm.
has the store that did all of my flashy stuff. Plus Steve Harvey, he provided my wardrobe for 2 years, and so
Whoa.
all of that came from other people. And I wanted to look, and talk like, you know, we knew what we were doing. You couldn't
Mm,
just get on and not, say things. I'm a linguist, so I should be able to do that, right?
mhm.
So that's from then the time when we first started doing television. There were no black people to be seen other than Nat King Cole and Diane Carroll. That was way before you were born. There were no other images. And when they had athletes on, when they finally let them on, they weren't talking like they do now. You know, so
Right.
so the other culture tend to think that we were ignorant,
Yeah.
and we want to put
When
things in love. We're
right.
not
But see
ignorant.
that But see, that was what was one of the things that made you great because you spoke where we come from. A man that speaks like that must be either he's feminine or he is white. A black man that loves gospel music and doing our runs. Hey,
Uh-huh.
hey, 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 hey. I mean, they were doing. That's Dr. Bobby John. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
Oh man,
yeah.
you must.
Hey, hey.
I can tell you listen to us.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
listen. Friends are few and the two.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the Williams brothers wrote that song for me.
Who the Wham brother?
Uh-huh.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell
that's where
you,
that
look,
one came from.
I'm trying to tell you, I was a real show enough and still is a fan. That's like when they came up with that little show. And I love Ty Tribbett. I've had him on the show with Ty Tribbett hosting stuff. I said, this is not gonna last. It's done. There will be no other Dr. Bobby Jones.
Well, God is good. He's keeping us there. I'll tell you my age because I'm blessed.
Okay.
I'm going on 84 years
Whoa.
on this planet, and everything that I've asked the Lord for, He's blessed me with, and I had no idea where it came from. All of those moves, I've been on every continent except
Whoa.
one.
Which one
And
is
I,
that?
you know, just think, there's only one continent that I wouldn't go on,
Russia?
Antar-
Oh no, that's
Antarctica.
no continent. That's a country. What's
Yeah,
continent?
Antarctica, Antarctica,
Oh,
and and to carry the word to
okay.
all of those nations and all of those places was the will of God. So I kind of realized,
Mhm,
after I got over some of the things, oh, this is what God really put me here for,
mhm.
and stay humble, stay God,
Okay,
don't
Dr. Bobby Jones.
yes, sir.
I got a couple of questions. You just tell me if you're going to answer or not. Number one,
Okay,
who was
good.
the hardest artist that ever graced your stage? Hardest to work with.
Um, Really, hardly none of them, really,
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
because I was kind to them and they were kind to me.
Great.
And
Another
and
question.
okay, that
Okay,
was
go
the
ahead.
other one. I was going to say, if you show love sometimes to people who have a tendency not to want to, but if you show it to them the right way, sometimes you can get them on your side. And that was one of the reasons. And since I've been off, I have not, I've never received as much love from these
Mm,
artists and people in my life. Oh Jesus, I could
mhm.
just thank him. I'm so carried away with the way they viewed us and what contributions that they say that we made. I was even able to be an ambassador of two nations, a real ambassador, not
Yeah.
assigned from the United States, but from those countries themselves, Dominica and the
Mhm,
Bahamas. In
mhm,
Dominica, I was there with the first Prince of Bel Air guy and the girl, and one woman from As the World Turns. It was 8 of us that went there to a festival I thought I was going for, but they were looking
mhm.
at people who could help their island to grow, and they
Whoa.
did, and they chose me. And
That is,
and
but see, that speaks to the kind of person that you are. There are 2,339 people that are watching right now, Dr. Bobby Jones. And these people love you. Between Facebook and YouTube, they're watching. I need all of you guys to hit like and to hit share. We are speaking with the legend and living legend,
yeah,
Dr. Bobby Jones. Now, there was some.
they must love you too to get that many. Congratulations, my brother. Congratulations. You're doing something right.
Something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a good thing.
Yeah, I want to ask you this, Dr. Bobby Jones, because there's someone that I love that you sort of platformed on your show. We recently lost Duranice Pace. Tell me what it was like working with her.
Another sign of heaven. She was just remarkable. Absolutely. She was a great contributor to my ministry and just always had a smile, always thankful for wherever I took her. I took her to Europe and, other places where we were in Italy. And then there was another one by the name of Blanche Gaines. She was from Nashville. Sang in this town all those years. People didn't recognize her. They didn't think of anything about her and all. And she became a star out of this thing. But Duranis and Blanche were two that were very similar with personalities. Fortunately, I've been blessed to get great people. God knew what he was doing. He
Mhm,
sent to me what he knew I needed. Every time one would have to leave and go something else, another one would come to fill that space.
mhm.
And thank you for mentioning Duran's space, one of the
Yeah,
great.
she was a friend. I knew her, and she was a great person. Later on, I met her family, June and the Martins
Mm-hmm.
here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But prior to moving here, she preached for me. I would preach for her, and
Mm-hmm.
we had what I feel like to be a great relationship. And she was just as you said all the time. What
Mm-hmm.
people didn't know is seeing her in the store singing and that was
Yeah.
her all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Would
In the
em-
airport, anything.
would
You know, she,
embarrass the hell out of me. I'm like, what? I've been with, she would come preach for us. We had to go by the store at the Walmart. Say, oh, Lord, come here, baby, come here, baby. I got a song for you. Oh, Lord. How about you know what? Let me get up.
that was the
But
man.
now looking back, I'm like, wow. She was just that type of
That
woman,
time.
and just will give her gift all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
took her to one time we were in Italy, and she got lost. She didn't get off the train where she was supposed to get off. She was by
Mhm.
herself, and she sang her way back.
Wow.
She went to another city way way away from where we were in Perugia, Italy, and Durant sang her way back. She started singing, and then if anybody could speak English, she would tell them where she wanted to go.
And that
Yeah,
sounds just like the random space.
yeah.
Oh
Those
my
Space
God.
Sisters, all those Space Sisters are wonderful girls.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The ones that I know, they are. Now,
Yeah.
one last thing, and I want we can literally just talk because you literally gospel music history, gospel music heritage. But I want to know about what you're doing now because I didn't know you still had a show on. So I want to know about that show.
Okay, I come on every. I was on like 3 or 4 times a week, but now I'm on twice a weekend on Impact. IMPACT Impact Television. It's a black man that owns that satellite, the only one. So I left Bob Johnson with BET and went with Mr. Jackson, Bishop Jackson, at the Impact Television Network. Now it's a half hour every Sunday afternoon
Hmm.
at 6:30 your time. And all you can get it on your computer. Your Most of the major carriers now carry that network, and uh, and I also have another show called uh, Time the Number Four Video Gospel. So I have a video gospel show and a Bobby Jones Presents show that
Wow.
on that particular.
One of the things I want to do, Dr. Bobby Jones, I want to do some kind of show or something similar to what we get out of the Stellar Award show and similar to what we got out of Sunday Best, a merge of the two. I want to find out something and I want to do it. And when that transpires, if you are open to traveling, I'm definitely going to hit you up because we got to have your expertise. I want to hear you do like Simon Cowell. Tell somebody if they singing right and it ain't right, and if you think they got it or not. I, want, I just feel like because you're so particular, I can tell in our dealings behind the scene. I feel like that if something ain't right, you will come down with a hammer.
But nice. There's a good way to do things, and
Yeah,
get your point across. And
yeah,
you're right. It should be. When we work for the Lord, we
right.
got to give our best. That's in everything.
Yeah,
No gossiping and no things like that. We don't dance like
mhm,
that. You know.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't gossip here on Larry Live, but we do talk about what everybody else is gossiping about. Um, what we want to do out there, 2,322 of you guys up here. I want everybody to show Dr. Bobby Jones that you love him. Do you have a cash app, Dr. Bobby Jones?
Yes. Let me see what it is. Uh,
Okay, we're gonna
Go
put this
ahead.
thing. It's time to bust open his cash app.
Oh Lord.
We about to let him know we love him for real. Because folk be talking about they love him to be a whole lie. We're gonna find out.
But
We're gonna
you know what, Larry? Out of
okay.
all those 35 years that I was on the international television, I
Mhm.
never asked anybody for a dime. Not once.
Good.
Not Never had to. BET didn't
Good.
pay us well, but they paid us in other words.
Right.
You can get paid more than in one way. A lot of
Right.
people think you already say, oh, they didn't give you this. You're getting a blessing from the Lord. So don't
Mm-hmm.
worry about it. Okay, it's $3 8, the letter B, the letter L, and the letter J. They are all small.
Okay.
That's what I see on here.
Three
It's
dollar sign 38BLJ.
hmm
Now let me look at something home for a minute. I gotta do a
and
test before we put that up, Ken.
okay.
Because I think you can do it with capital letters. Because it should be the same. Let's see.
There it is. I put on there.
Okay, you all right, there we got it. Yeah, flip it on the other side. The other side. Turn the other way.
Wait a minute. Like
We,
this.
we need put up high. Right there. That's it. That's what we need to see. Dollar sign, because the other side is too much information.
Yeah.
Dollar sign 38BLJ. All right, we got it. All right, put
Okay.
that up next so that we can bust it wide open. But see, even that information you can't.
You're gonna bless me like that?
What you was talking about?
I
What
mean,
you talking about?
Lord have mercy.
But listen, LRLers are the reason why I can do this platform and I can say whatever I want to say about whatever I talk about is because the people here support the platform. I don't ever have to negotiate because I know Vicky Winans, Ty Tribbett has been here, Deidre Haddon, and about any gospel singer you can think of, Kurt Franklin, Yolanda Adams. I have, how can I say, because I don't want to tell nobody business, but I mean, I can text these people, we text back and have a conversation. So it's not a matter of what I do here, people that got good sense understand what I do. But there are some people who don't have a lot of sense and they feel like I can't say what I want to say. So the people who really matter don't care that I do jokes on them whenever or talk about whatever is public about them because they know my heart and intention is not nasty and bad. So, but it's the LRLers that make it to where I can tell people no, and I can say what I want to say. And they're giving, loving, kind people. And I know that they are going to bust a hole in your Cash App. Your phone going to start going off, and it's going to shock
Oh my God. Larry. Oh my God. Oh, I don't even know how to get. Oh, my boy. Look at this. They say further action is required to accept this cash.
Okay, get somebody around there that know what they're doing because you have to click in there and accept some of them one by one. That's right.
Oh my goodness, man.
Make sure, what you can have to do, you get one of your grandkids or your wife there with you.
No, she's not here right now.
Okay. Well, somebody.
She don't know how to do it either. I'll get somebody who knows how to do it.
Yeah, and if they need to get on the phone with me from your phone, I'll tell them what to do. Because when you can verify your Cash App account, you should be able to withdraw a larger amount out of it straight into your bank account. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I want you to know that there's a lot of people out here, Dr. Bobby Jones, that miss you and love you. And so this is a way for them to show you how much they love you right from their own home.
Man, I'm overwhelmed with this. Wow. Oh, well, let me give you my post office box.
Okay. Yeah, because there'll be some people that will want to
A lot of people
send you something and say, "Hey, Bobby."
Uh-huh. It's a one post
Okay.
office box. Post office
PO,
box.
PO box.
158-947.
Okay. And then what's that?
Nashville, Tennessee,
Okay.
37215.
37215.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got that too.
Yeah.
So that's at the bottom of the screen right now. PO Box 158947, Nashville, Tennessee 37215. I'm gonna say it one more time, then we're putting that cash app back up. PO Box 158947, Nashville, Tennessee 37215. Now you send that there. If you don't got Cash App, you just do your money order, do a check, and send it over there to Dr. Bobby Jones. Let him know that you love him and let him know that you heard his interview, his conversation, his converDERNsation on Larry Reid Live. Now, if you are like me, you're going to go straight to the Cash App. We're going straight to that cash app. Dollar sign 38BLJ. Now, when you receive, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk to the board right quick, Dr. Jones, and you're gonna see a cash out come from the MBN network. That's gonna be us.
Wow.
That's coming from us.
Well,
And
thank you. Thank you.
yeah, because we want to do something for you and let you know. We thank you for your time coming here today. We thank you for your 35 years and for all that you contributed and what you've done in the gospel community. And if nobody don't thank and praise God for you, it is Larry Reid Live.
You've
Okay,
blown me away today, man. You've blown me away today.
good. I love it. I
Uh,
love it. And it's the LRLers. The LRLers, they are the best and the greatest people in the world. A lot of them used to be in church, don't go to church no more, but they love authentic and real people. And this is their love you to you.
well, I appreciate that. And to all of you who are doing that and have done it, most appreciative. The shows that I do basically on the Impact Television Network, what little money that God blessed me with, I use it. I don't take a dime for myself
Oh,
because I've
wow.
been blessed otherwise. So know
Yeah.
that I'm wise enough to know how to accept and appreciate when someone tries to help you out, you know?
Right. Yeah. I figured that. I didn't know that, but I figured you didn't take anything.
Yeah, yeah,
I figured that.
yeah.
Mm, that's powerful.
God's been good, so I don't need to try to add anything else onto it.
In other words, he got plenty of money and don't need no money from nowhere else. I got that.
No,
I got
that's not what I meant. I know I know people think that, but no, that's not true. But
about
you know
Dr.
what?
Robinson.
You know what? How do you where do you think gospel music is going now? What's the difference in what's happening with our younger singers that are coming up as
No,
opposed to the ones that
well,
have
that
been around?
really should have been a question I asked you, but since you asked me,
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you.
I think pre-pandemic we were on this road of gospel music really becoming more mainstream. Let me explain what I mean. Because the reality is what makes, in my opinion, a gospel song isn't just lyric, it's the intention behind the song. If you are writing lyrics and got Jesus and God all the way through it, but your intention is a hit, although it may be a hit and it may sound wonderful and great, the intention behind it for me is what the people who are listening to it are going to be affected by. And so I feel like that pre-pandemic, gospel music was getting more and more and more and more and more and more mainstream. Post-pandemic, what I am noticing is that gospel music is getting more gospel. It's almost like in order to move forward, gospel artists have been inspired by what got us to where we were. And I'm starting to see songs that are coming out that are more and more and more gospel, God, Jesus based. I feel as though that we should broaden our definition of what gospel music is so that there be everybody from the person that sings it traditional all the way to the person that sings it contemporary, everybody can feel like we're all as important in our
Mhm.
contribution that we make to the gospel music. So I feel like gospel music is expanding, but at the same time, we're getting a lot more gospel in the expression.
The sound
Yeah,
and the lyrical content,
yeah.
two important elements that make differentiate gospel music from other songs. And
Mhm.
so I tell them when I first heard the hip hop and whatever they were, didn't recognize what they were saying and all. But I said, as long as you're lifting up the name of Jesus,
Mhm.
He's the one to determine whether or not you're blessed or not by doing this. So
Mhm.
initially, I was conservative.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, we can't have that. But you're supposed to get wiser as you get older. So I'm
Mhm.
wise enough not to speak against it, but to
Mhm.
encourage them to be certain that they're doing the proper things and saying the proper things that's going to lift up the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the sound and the lyrical content is what determines
Mhm.
gospel.
Well, let me tell you, young man, you have provided a wonderful platform for me to say thank you to
Hmm.
all of those people, the thousands and thousands that have watched our shows over the years. Uh, you've given me another opportunity to say that to you and to
Mm.
be blessed by you. Thank you, Jesus, for you.
Yeah.
Maybe people know a little bit more about me now. You know, I know that I talk like this because I've been trained to speak English.
Now that's a read. Mm-hmm.
You know, so don't scape it on nothing else because there's nothing else for you to scape it to. That's where it comes from. I'm not
I
white,
love it. Yeah.
but but I
Mm.
speak English. So
Right.
I'm a linguist. So that's
Mm.
that's what you do when you study. You
Yeah.
study to grow. Education means to do that.
Right. I loved it. I love it.
Yeah.
And I love your candidness. You were very nice tonight. But I remember at the Stellar Awards 2015, you went up in there. You started going off. Me and my then wife was screaming in the audience. I said, "Oh my God, I love Dr. Bobby Jones." You think when you get older, you are more direct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't have time for foolishness. When you get 83 years old, going on 84, you better whatever you think you may need to do, you better do it.
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, but our friends are leaving us at very young ages now, because of viruses and other situations. And
Mm,
but that's why we have to live every day like it's
mhm,
our last day. Enjoy
mhm,
life, enjoy, because we don't know when it's going away. So
mhm,
we treat your fellow man kind. Always be kind. When you see the kind of people that are against what's happening in our country today, and the people who are running those negative vibes through, much of
mm,
that action is they doing it to hurt black people,
mm.
and we are killing each other, black folk. We can't do that. We have to learn what love is all about.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
help to teach them. They don't know any better. They're ignorant when they do
Mhm,
the things that they do. You're sitting here looking at people breaking into windows and going into places where they know they shouldn't be going, and we saying, "Oh, that wasn't
mm,
nothing." I mean, they think we're stupid.
mm.
You're looking at the people as they broke into the Capitol building, and they said it was nothing but tourists. Come on.
Right.
I,
There's something wrong with that. Wow, that's some great Dr. Bobby Jones gospel last words.
well,
Thank you so much.
I didn't mean to go into politics with you, on that.
Yeah.
But sometimes our people need to listen, and understand what's happening. We don't want to go back to where we used to be,
No.
and we're at a place where we don't have to. We don't need to if we do what God
True.
tells us to do. Yeah.
True. Absolutely. Dr. Bobby Jones, thank you so very much. And make sure open up your Cash app. When it says further action needed, go right in there and just hit accept, so that you can accept all of the love that people are giving you. And I'll show you after we come off live. Thank you
Okay.
so much, you guys, for watching. Here's a little clip right now of when we were on. It's like 6 seconds of when we were on Dr. Bobby Jones' gospel for his last 35 years. I love each and every one of you. Continue to be a blessing to Dr. Bobby Jones. Turn your notifications on so you know when we are live. Text Larry Reid Live with no spaces to 33222 this Sunday night at 7 p.m. It was supposed to happen this last Sunday night, but the first episode of season 2, Reading Things My Way, will hit the internet, and we already are preparing ourselves to release part 2 of the documentary. A lot of good stuff is on the way, and I got surprises for you at the first of the year. You're going to be shocked. We're going to be sitting right here beside me. My God. See you later. Bye.
Thank you, the Archivist and Dr. Larry Reid.
Reading Things My Way Season 2 is underway. But in Season 2, I got a feeling it's going to be a whole mess. And I want to go ahead and apologize right now for some of the things that is going to be said and some of the things that is going to be done. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
What did I feel about Thanksgiving dinner? I was super nervous about coming to Thanksgiving dinner because
what does that have to do with the fact that she left me?
What happened before I left?
The car.
What happened before I left?
It don't make no difference. You left.
you threatened her, Reid? No, they had hot sex
Broke me
in the
before
bathroom.
I left.
Is that so?
Hot sex.
Right. Well, Shamako is the same Shamako that he was in the first season. Ain't no different.
I'm taking your advice and I'm stepping the hell out.
If Mako is impatient, he's going to speak a certain kind of way.
He's been his typical self, being all impatient, and it just sent me over the edge.
Really? See, that stuff, when I'm talking, you make those kinds of faces. Shut up with it.
Girl, let me tell you, these motherfuckers is crazy.
We went through the Reid family and our little group season 1. I don't know if they ready. Because every and anything that they have not discussed and went through, it's coming out of this show.